What's good, RFL fans? It's your boy Smitty here with Bill. And man, this is going to be a really good podcast. We got a lot, of course, to go over. The only 3 more games left for the regular season of the RFL. Of course, as usual, we got ourselves a hater here in the chat. 1 dislike off the rip. Let's get those likes up for the people who actually bangs with the RFL. Appreciate you guys coming through and watching this, man. And you've seen a lot of content we got to put out there, man. I really feel you guys are really going to enjoy the bowl games and everything we're going to be talking about. We're going to be revealing the full uniforms pretty much with pictures, and we're going to be posting up more content leading up to the game. And pretty much we're going to follow those same guidelines while leading into the relocation bowl. So a lot that's going to be coming up these next couple of these next couple of weeks. So this is the best time to keep up with the RFL, man. And Bill, it's been a while since we had a podcast, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. It's good to have him ready for the podcast. I don't know what's going on already, man. We got this 1 dislike. What's going on out there?
Oh, we always, you're not doing nothing great if you don't have a hater, man, But at the end of the day, we don't worry about it. But let's do what we usually do. Hop in and recap what happened last week. We only had 2 games, but they were huge games. They were the conference championship games of the, at the time, NFC and AFC of the RFL. And we first started off with well, I got to flip these games because it didn't start out in that order. Started out with this game. The Columbus Explorers taking on the Thunderbirds. And, Bill, I know you got to be excited about this one. Finally able to get your first victory, actually, as a coach over the Thunderbirds. Of course, people will argue, hey, they didn't have LC3 and everything, and that definitely showed to be a huge factor. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. You guys are going to the Rfl Bowl as you take down the Thunderbirds 26-6. What's your takeaways from this game?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, yeah, they didn't have LC3, so they weren't at full strength, and I understand that fully. And you know what? The game of football is a game of football. Injuries happen. You got to deal with them when they're dealt to you. And, we were just able to take advantage of things, I thought, on defense, where we forced Tauscher into some pretty tough situations, throwing the ball, and made him pay for it. And for the one thing that we did do that was still something we missed even in all of our other games is we didn't allow their defense to take us over on offense. We didn't allow the mental mistakes, and I think that was the biggest reason why we won this game is, yes, of course, the offense was, I guess you could say, neutered to some degree because they didn't have LC3 to be able to orchestrate the offense the way they wanted to. But, I mean, even in our past games, they've scored points on us, but our biggest problem was always the defense, just forcing fumbles, getting pick sixes, the whole 9. And we didn't allow them to do much of that this game, and it showed. It showed by the way the game went. So happy to be able to go to the Rfl Bowl. I wish they were at full strength so we could have done it the right way, but, football's football, and I'm definitely going to take the W.
Speaking of football being football, I mean, you guys got the W. You guys are going to the relocation bowl, but another factor of football is injuries. You guys lose Bradley Atagwe. He got injured every single playoff game. He was clear throughout the entire regular season, something he hasn't done up until this season. And then he gets injured for a 3rd straight time. And this time it's official. He's out for the Rfl Bowl. Just to tap in on that a little bit, what's your thoughts on that situation?
It's very frustrating. Something we expected to happen, but I don't. It's a weird situation because you have a guy who has had an injury history and has had troubles with this before, and over the last 2 years, I really haven't had much flare up from him in that category. And this year, I don't know if there was just a nagging injury that he just couldn't get over, but it's been sort of taking him out of games ever since playoffs started. We had it happen once during the last couple of weeks of the season, and then ever since then, he just can't seem to stay in the game. So it's unfortunate. He's a great player. He's a game changer. But just like with the Thunderbirds, you got to deal with what you're dealt with, and you just got to put your best foot forward and hope that the rest of your team can rally around him. And that's what we're going to try to do.
Yeah, tough loss right there. But even more talking about this game, Cade Tauscher definitely didn't look like the quarterback that he did last week. I mean, he wasn't really even impressive the week before that against the Lancers. He did have some impressive runs, but could not do any of that against you guys' defense. You did a great job on defense. Those 2 interceptions for touchdowns, I think, were definitely the determining factor of this game. The first one, I already had figured in my head when I was commentating with Rob that, this game was over. I don't see how they're going to be able to get back into it, especially how Tauscher was playing at the time. I mean, 3 interceptions, that's big time. And not only that, I mean, shutting down the run game as well. Clifton General only had 12 carries for 23 yards. That's a big statement right there. And their best receiver, Ryan Moxon, with 77 yards off for 7 catches. So, I mean, that was a tremendous job done by you guys' defense. And, their offense just couldn't get going. And that was pretty much the story of the game. And so moving on to the final game, which was the AFC Championship, to meet the Explorers in Rfl Bowl 5, the Red Dragons get it done literally in the final seconds against the Cougars. It was an amazing game to watch from beginning to end, and the young rookie shows why he's well deserving of the Offensive Rookie of the Year award after that incredible slide-in touchdown scramble to best the Cougars 27-23.
Man, yeah, this game was something. This is what a championship game should look like, and it did not disappoint. You'd wished almost for the Explorers Thunderbirds game for it to be a little bit closer, just because of what's at stake. But it didn't go out that way. But we definitely didn't get left behind in the exciting games for this weekend. It was just a great battle between two coaches who put their best foot forward, and two great teams. And what a performance by Savoy. I mean, he had a rough day. The Cougars defense was all over him all day long. 4 interceptions, only 50% completion percentage, just a little above it. And just like he did throughout the beginning of the stages of the season before he sort of flourished as a passer, at some point he's like, man, I just got to stop trying to wing it, and I got to run it. And he used his legs, and he used them at the exact right time, because they get that touchdown in the last seconds of the game. Heartbreaking loss for the Cougars, an exciting win for the rookie and Coach Davis, and to get the Red Dragons over to the Rfl Bowl. But yeah, definitely an impressive game. Neither coach should be upset about the outcome of that one. Of course, Davis is not, but great game, and something we wanted to see happen between these two overpowering teams.
Yeah, it was exciting seeing both of these coaches just, the fact that you could see how their game plan against each other played out was very competitive throughout the game. I mean, even with 4 interceptions, goes to show you how great this Red Dragons defense is. They were still able to keep them in the game against a really good Cougars offense. And despite the 4 picks by Anthony Savoy, 2 touchdowns helped him win this one. And, of course, that was one through the air when he was able to hit Obey Kid off the wheel route, and then, of course, the miraculous scramble. But another key point that I think was very instrumental to this is the Red Dragons without C.J. Bobo looks like they almost didn't miss him for this game, because, Russell Fender, 15 carries for 98 yards. He's done a great job whenever he had to this season, stepping in and making plays for the Red Dragons on the ground. And, of course, we already know they got the Twin Towers on the outside and Obey Kid in the inside. It's a tremendous offense that they have. Anthony Savoy's getting going, and we've always said, hey, the Red Dragons, this is an elite team away from just having a quarterback where they needed to be pretty much an untouchable team. And you can see the record in the postseason shows the Red Dragons never lost a playoff game in RFL history. They are 6-0, and if they can win next week in the Rfl Bowl, that's 2 championships. That's the first time that anybody in the RFL has ever done that, and the Red Dragons are really cementing their name in RFL history. If they are able to accomplish that. But of course, we're going to have to see that. And of course, we're going to get a look at this current board here and seeing how everything unfolded. Just crazy how all these games were very amazing to watch. Some of them, of course, didn't turn out too well for others. But for the most part, this was a very exciting playoffs. Just want to ask a quick question, man. What is your thoughts on the playoffs and just heading up to the Rfl Bowl in general here, Bill?
It's been a great postseason. It's been, we had a couple of lopsided games, but for the most part, it's been very competitive, and seeing some upsets, for teams that you thought were going to go farther, and maybe seeing a couple teams that you didn't think were going to put up as much of a fight, but they did. I just thought it was a really exciting few weeks of RFL football, and hopefully we can finish the season out right in the Rfl Bowl.
Well, great take on that. You guys already know what time it is. No subtopics. We're getting straight to the point. And this may be a little bit loud due to the game volume, but I need it up just so you guys can be able to hear Bill. But now it's time to get into the College Series Bowl in the RFL coming up this weekend. You guys already saw what the rosters were when Coach Baker and Coach Rummel were able to select who they wanted to pick up the College Series on their team. We know who's going to be, of course, on those teams. But now we're going to get a look at the uniforms coming up. Nice little quick snippet made here by, of course, Rob Roby and C. Beazle here. A little quick second clip, but we'll take it. This will take us right into the unis. And so let's get a look at these unis. As you can see right here, this is the East in the white. You see the helmet, you see the patch, and Geno Gannon, his uniform right there, looking clean. You got the grays on the side. I love the design here, and a full body image right there with Isaiah Streets holding the football and running. And we get a look at the west side now in the black. So it's going to be a black and white College Series Bowl for our first ever Series Bowl for the College Series players. And, just getting a look at these uniforms right now. And there's a full body shot at the and just a couple of other images. So looking at these pictures right here, Bill, how you feeling about this College Series Bowl, and what do you think about the unis?
I am so excited to be able to see what Rob and Beazle put together for this college series, and see what the coaches do with the teams they selected from last week. And man, it's just been great to see these guys come back again after seeing them in the college series all year, scouting them all season long, and now they get one last shot, ahead of the draft in about a month to show us what they're made of still, and to remind everybody why we should draft them. So I'm just excited to see this. I expect the presentation to be A1, of course, because it always is when we got Rob and Beazle working on things, trying to make the game as best as we can for us. And yeah, I'm really excited for this weekend.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I, of course, want to give a big shout out to, like you said, Rob and Beazle working on these uniforms for both the Pro Bowl and the College Series Bowl, man. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a great presentation. I can assure you guys that should be a great game. We'll talk more about this game once we, pretty much reveal the Pro Bowl and everything of that nature, and talk about that. But with that being, another thing before I get into this, if you are a submitted player and you were in this class, I can get photos for you to post. And I did take most photos anyway of whoever was submitted players. So I have those on hand right now, so I can, hit me up on Instagram. Instagram, I think, would be the best place to hit me, or in the Discord, and then I will send you the images of your players in their Pro Bowl uniform, in their College Series Bowl uniform, while they're in practice. You're not going to have no images while they're at the bowl game until, of course, the bowl game happens. But hit me up, and I'll make sure to get those images out there to you guys. And so that pretty much wraps up, how the bowl game's going to look. We already know who's going to be in it. We're going to talk more about who we think's going to win the bowl game later. But now it's time to get into the RFL Pro Bowl. You guys are very excited to see. There's once again another look at the snippet of the details, not the full reveal, but pretty much giving away a good portion of what the uniforms look like. But before we jump into that, we also had a look at, of course, the I hope I picked the right button here, because if this is not the right one, this is going to mess this up. Let me make sure I got the right one here. Let me just leave it alone. We'll figure that out. So what we're going to do right now, we pretty much seen the Series Bowls. And we're moving into the Pro Bowl here. We're now going to go ahead and check out the Pro Bowl rosters. So we're going to start out here in the AFC. And so now it's time for you guys to know who is going to be on the teams, where they're going to be starting, and everything of that nature. So I'm pretty sure coaches who's been in the file already know who's made it on their team. But for the public, here you go. Starting off in the AFC. At QB1, of course, Dre Crowell led the league in passing yards, 5,550. The dude was hands down the best quarterback this year, and he's going to be QB1 starting out the first half for the AFC, backed up by Brady Hudson of the Huskies. Had a great season as well. And third on the chart, we got Glenn Hay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post a vote for people to be able to select which third string quarterback you want to see play. And the reason why is because we usually have one side that gets left out when it comes to a quarterback playing, because we have to do it in franchise mode, and we can't sub in everybody. So we only can do it once unless we do it through play now. But we're working on other methods that will be better to do it in the franchise, so we don't have to worry about subbing all those guys in, which will take up some time. But Glenn Hay, third string quarterback there, the AFC team. First team running back, we got Trey Worsley, followed from the Celtic Tigers, followed by the Bulls running back, David Jones. And at third running back, we've got Damani Manuel of the Conquistadors making that list right here. And, of course, like Bill said last time we was picking the College Series Bowl players and stuff, fullbacks, they matter too. And here's the fullbacks. First team fullback, we've got Langford Geddes of the Bulls. And at the fullback position at Team 2, we have Aaron Angerer of the Sentinels. So that's your fullbacks there. Now we get into, of course, the skill guys here with wide receiver. We got, of course, number 1 wide receiver, Matt Niani, paired up with Keith Guyton. Crazy. That's going to be just a crazy area right there. Then, of course, at number 3 receiver, third team, we've got Stanley Whitehead of the Bulldogs, followed by Maurice Darman of the Armadillos, Douglas Drayton of the Voyagers, and Dariantre Machiavelli of the Conquistadors. So I'm doing this off the top of my head. So if I started a little bit, I'm trying to remember where these guys' teams are again, just from looking at their names. But now we'll get a look at the tight ends of the AFC. First team tight end, we got Reggie Wilson of the Celtic Tigers. Second team, we got Hudson Johnston, the rookie of the Huskies. And third team, we've got Mike Strongley of the Black Knights. Linemen, I'll just read off the names. I'm pretty sure you guys don't know too much about the RFL linemen. But we've got Glenn Devine of the Celtic Tigers. We got William Milne of the Huskies. I know he's of the Huskies. We got Pemberton, and I know he's a Cougar, so left guard starting team there. Rashawn Fleming of the Celtic Tigers right here. A lot of Celtic Tigers made the offensive line, as they always do typically. Got Henry Nilsson starting at center. Celtic Tiger right there. We got Goodman, and that's a Sentinel at the center position. We got Yates. That's a Celtic Tiger again. Irwin, and I believe he is a Conquistador, if I'm not mistaken. And we got Bayer. I'm not sure. Is that how you say that, Bill? Bayer?
How is it spelled?
Bauer.
That's Bauer. Or
Bauer.
Yeah.
Bauer. Okay, we're going to go with Bauer.
Bayer. I just know I had a teacher in school with that spelling, and it was Bauer.
All right, we'll go with Bauer. And then we got Gordon K here of the Bulls. I know where most of these linemen is, so that's a good thing. For people who don't think I show the linemen love, I at least know what team they played for. But now moving on to the defensive side of the ball for the AFC. First team left in, we've got Wendell DeMache of the Sentinels, backed up by Edmund Whiting of the Bisons. And then moving into the right defensive ends of the AFC first team, we've got DeJuan Church of the Voyagers, and he's going to be backed up by Celtic Tigers defensive end Jason Lindsley. Going to defensive tackles, we got Enrique Garrett, low overall player, but he must have performed very well, 74 overall, but he's first team defensive tackle for the AFC, and he's from the Bulls. And we got Malik Yates from the Celtic Tigers, backing him up, and behind him, we've got Benjamin Kuhn of the Dreadnoughts at defensive tackle number 3. Moving on to the linebackers, we got Rashawn Patrick, first team left outside linebacker for the Black Knights, backed up by Voyagers linebacker Carter Delahart. Middle linebacker first team, we've got Celtic Tigers Reed Holmberg, backed up by Dreadnoughts Nolan Angelo. And at right outside linebacker, we got Marvin Woolfolk of the Cougars, backed up by Pioneers linebacker Jesse Newhouser. And we get into now the cornerbacks of the AFC. First team, we've got Anthony Washington of the Riverhogs, backed up by Keani Jones, the new free agent this year. And at third, we've got Trey Sinclair of the Bisons. And at fourth, we got Bulls cornerback Mario Culver. Moving into safeties, we've got Addison Lyons. I almost thought that was London Lions, but Addison Lyons of the Bulls at free safety, backed up by Sentinels free safety Brandon Oliver. And at strong safety, we've got the Celtic Tigers safety Damori Williams, backed up by Parham Crow of the Huskies. And so that's going to do it for the teams. And in terms of special teams, oh yeah, the kickers. Kickers, we got Riverhawks kicker Ross Goss and the Huskies punter Mason Borland. In terms of these special teams, guys, I still have to select these. Some of these are the only positions in the game that will be getting changed up. So, yeah, I can't. These guys are not official because there are guys who had kick return touchdowns who definitely should be in the Pro Bowl because, for one, I can say for the NFC that I can assure is Buki Johnson. He had the most kick return touchdowns this year, and he didn't make it on the NFC side. So this is the only area that will be getting addressed that will, that will pretty much put in our own guys who I feel fit for the position. But that's it for the AFC team. Now we're going to hop over to get a look at the NFC Pro Bowl team of the RFL. And I keep saying AFC, and I'm forgetting we just came up with new conferences, man.
You know, I wasn't going to say nothing, man. I was trying to give you some time to get used to it, but yeah, man, you're sort of slacking right now.
Forgot all about it. So we now get a look at the Nrc conference here of the RFL Pro Bowl team. First team quarterback Reed Wagner of the Steamers, backed up by the San Antonio Marshals quarterback Tyler Agramonte and Ben Wakefield of the Crusaders to finish out the quarterbacks. And that will be the two quarterbacks you'll be voting on who would you rather see play, Ben Wakefield or Glenn Hay. So we'll put that out in a poll most likely tomorrow. But looking at the NRC running backs, first team NRC running back, we have Tavion Hall, of course, led the league in rushing this year of the Desperados. Absolute great addition for them. Backed up by the Barons running back Kenny Steele, second year in the RFL. Once again, another tremendous player, won Offensive Rookie of the Year, Pro Bowler again this year. Then we have DJ Scott of the Snowhawks. Despite the suspensions, he was able to still stay on the team, never had to get kicked out from the suspension, and did a pretty good job, running the ball there in Portland. So he gets third team back. Looking at the fullbacks, we got Cheverini of the Elks. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the Elks fullback right there. He actually was probably one of the most active fullbacks at a rushing touchdown this year. I think he had a receiving one as well. So he's pretty good fullback, backed up also by Alan Mayer of the Marshals. That's their fullback. And we get a look now at the NFC wide receivers. First team wide receivers, we have Romeo Jackson at number 1 and Elijah Bentley at number 2. Romeo Jackson is of the Steamers, Bentley of the Crusaders. Third team receiver, we've got Amari Manuel of the Barons. Then we have the sensational rookie, Sean Acosta, making his first Pro Bowl in his first season from the San Antonio Marshals. And at 5th, we have the Tigers wide receiver, Donald Brewer. And at 6, we have J.J. Vaughn of the Steamers. So we got a couple of Steamers at wide receivers there and a good receiving core here. Looking at the tight ends, we have another Steamer here, Eric Reese, first team tight end of the NRC. And he'll be backed up by the Diablos tight end, Griffin Pritchett of the Diablos. And the last tight end on the NRC team, we have Jarrett Funches of the San Antonio Marshals. We'll now get a look at the offensive linemen. Starting first team left tackle of the NRC, we've got Dion Gunn of the Crusaders, backed up by Diablos left tackle Dylan Rollins. Then in the left guard, we've got Kevin Bruce, another Diablos lineman, backed up by Joe Griffin of the Elks. At center, we have Zach Ballantine of the Lancers, backed up by Malcolm Sims of the Gunners. At right guard, we have Blair Harden, the Snowhawks lineman, and he's backed up by Breon Keith of the Desperados. And at the last two lineman spots, we have Jake Kauser. He wins this award technically every year. He's definitely hands down one of the best right tackles, but that's the Gunners lineman there starting for first team NRC at right tackle, backed up by BJ Tripp of the Toronto Thunderbirds. And now we move on to the defense. Of course, we already knew this guy was going to be here, and that was the best defensive players hands down this year. Won 3 awards this year. I mean, the guy was a monster. Isaiah Ingram at the defensive end position. He'll be starting there from the Toronto Thunderbirds, backed up by Antares Cockrell. It says Cackrell, but we can't spell the name out on Madden, but that was his actual original name, and he's backing up Isaiah Ingram. He's from the Condors. On the right end position, we have starting the Lancers defensive end, Chase Schilling, backed up by Wayman Yates of the Barons. Moving on to the defensive tackles, we've got Desperados defensive tackle, first team of the NRC, Jonathan Gage, backed up by rookie defensive tackle, Mar Rivers of the Barons. And the final defensive tackle is Adrian Otis of the Conquistadors. Moving on to the linebackers, the winner of the NFC Linebacker of the Year, of course, he'll be here, Kason Fine. First team linebacker backed up by another rookie, Tyrone Johnson of the Elks. Middle linebacker, we've got Stephen Daly of the Shamrocks, backed up by Elks middle linebacker Antoine Buck. Starting first team at right outside linebacker, we got Kit Morrison of the Barons, backed up by Jaron Gray of the Thunderbirds. Looking at the cornerbacks starting of the NRC, we've got DeAndre Cummings from the Desperados. And on the outside with him, we've got, of course, the league leader in interceptions this season, Tavares Golston. Ghost Golston, a nickname I gave him there. And the Lancers, Israel Dunlap is going to be third on the cornerbacks team there. And final cornerback for the NRC, we've got Thunderbirds cornerback Derek Gonzalez. Looking at the safeties, we got, of course, Garrison Ash. He forced the most fumbles by far in history. I don't think anybody's going to break that record. Garrison Ash, hands down, first team free safety. And behind him is Gunners free safety, Devontae Gibson. And at strong safety, we've got the Desperados strong safety in the first ever RFL draft. Here he is still kicking it strong, Ethan King, backed up by second-year safety from the Snowhawks, Casey Lott. And now we'll get a look, of course, at the special teams. No kick returners. I think Jake Pride is going to stay here at kick return. He was a great kick returner this year. Melvin Kalu is not going to be there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give that to Buki Johnson, or probably switch Buki Johnson with Pride here between kick and punt return. We'll have to see. And as for the kickers, we've got Lucas Cook of the Marshals, and we've got Unertul. I think that's how you say it. I believe he is from the. This is the only one I've blanked on so far where he's from. I think he's from the Gunners. So let me go. Unertul, the punter. Let me go see if I'm right.
He was on the top 10 for a while earlier this year, but I can't picture it either.
Let's see if I'm right, guys. If I'm right on that, I'm 100%. When it comes to knowing where every player played.
I'm gonna guess the Elks.
You know what it is, the Elks.
Is it really?
Elks. I know for a fact it's the Elks now that you said it. But yeah, I was wrong. It's the Elks.
I knew I saw his name somewhere.
Yeah, it was the Elks. Good one. We're at least 100%. Bill got to give his chance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is your Pro Bowl rosters. Of course, I wanted to try to get by that quickly. Didn't want to take too much time on that because we got a lot more other stuff to talk about. But that is your Pro Bowl rosters coming into, this upcoming NRC versus ARC Pro Bowl, man. So with that being said, what do you think about the rosters, Bill?
I think they turned out pretty good. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It would have been nice to be able to see my guys in the Pro Bowl with all these fancy uniforms, but I'm a lot happier where they're going to be playing next week, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it should definitely make for a great Pro Bowl, and with that being said, let me make sure that I have this right. It's time to now reveal the uniforms of the Pro Bowl, and I think you guys seen this video from earlier, the new conference logos, ARC, NRC, American Relocation Conference, and National Relocation Conference. And we got a great response. You guys obviously love those logos, and we're moving in a big direction next year. And with that being said, here's a look at the players in their Pro Bowl uniforms. Dre Crowell, of course, passing the ball. You got Matt Niani with a nice catch as always. And we get a look at this Trey Worsley here, full body shot right there. You get a nice good look at those uniforms. NRC uniform, you see Isaiah Ingram mouth open, and Tavion Hall getting a handoff from Reed Wagner. You got Rivers right there, the rookie Mar Rivers with Stephen Daly of the Shamrocks. Really good shot I had here with a nice zoom. Bentley getting covered by Trey Sinclair, and another coverage clip. We got Anthony Washington on a manual, Murray manual, and another Drake Crowell picture, of course, and a little closeout here. Man, Maniani getting bagged for once. The cornerback Ghost Golson. So, yeah, those are the uniforms, you guys. So, yeah, man. Bill, what's your thoughts on these ones?
It's just been amazing to, like, I mean, of course, I'm excited to see these uniforms and see what has been made for this league. But man, for some, and I know there's people that are in the chat right now that have probably been here even longer than I have. I know there is, but to see, like, it to me, it's more cool to just see how this progression has gone for this league. It's amazing to watch how we're just keep getting better and better. And this right here with the modding of the uniforms and renaming conferences, and it's just really exciting to see what this league is about to become, and it's really starts this weekend. Like this is a sort of our coming out party for our what we're going to be bringing to the future. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I see Justin asking that Mari Manuel got 17 over Romeo Jackson. Actually, every player will actually have their number, even if it's a duplicate. So I made sure everybody wore the number that they usually wear. So you're going to see two number 17s out onto the field, but you, of course, we'll be able to know who those players are based off of, we've been calling their names and watching them play the entire season. So, so that nobody will be wearing a number that they don't usually wear in the Pro Bowl. So everyone will be recognizable based off of their numbers and the way that they look in their build. So with that being said, getting a look at these Pro Bowl and College Series Bowl unis, man, now it's time to talk about it. Which game who do you think is going to win in the College Series Bowl? The College Series Bowl is going to be first on Saturday. Still no official time yet. I see we got 6 p.m. Eastern on here, so we might roll with that time. I kind of like that time. Rob made this poster here. And with that being said, I mean, who do you think is going to come out on top there? We got the East, of course, with Rummel, and we got the West with Coach Baker. Who's going to win the first ever College Series Bowl?
That is something. Let me just jump into my little my lists I have here. Because I'm not 100. I can't remember off the top of my head who all went to which team, but I don't know, man. It's a tough one because both Rummel and Baker have proven to be very quality, very good coaches in the league. So I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to go with Rummel. Okay, I think Rummel will pull it out. He gave me a lot of problems in the game that we played, even though I know the score didn't look like it all the time. But I think Rummel will pull this one out.
Well, my thoughts on who I think might win this one is kind of crazy. I mean, I really like Geno Gannon. I like all the players that are in here.
Yeah.
But the biggest difference that I see, probably agreeing with you on this defensive side of things here, is, man, the West is stacked on that defensive line. They've got Drew Brewer, of course. They've got Dominic Moore from Ole Miss. They've got why am I blanking? They just got a lot of defensive players. They even got Ray at the secondary. It's a lot of defensive players. Their defense, I think, is better than the West. And I feel like the East, though, has better receivers. So I don't know how it's going to fly, man. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes, but I guess I'm going to go with the West winning this one. So we'll see how that turns out. And with that being said, we'll move on now to the next topic, which is who you think is going to win the Pro Bowl this year, ARC or NRC?
I gotta go with my conference. I gotta go with the NRC. Everybody's gonna hate it. Nobody's gonna agree with me, but I gotta rep for my NRC. I think everybody on the chat thinks that it's gonna be ARC all the way. I'm calling it right now. The NRC is gonna get it done.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree again with you.
I knew everybody disagrees with me.
The ARC has dominated the NRC in every single Pro Bowl. And the NRC only won the first Pro Bowl because it was played on NCAA. And that game didn't technically count, but just to make the NRC side feel good, I said, hey, it counts. So the NRC is
those
1-4,
kind of remarks
1-3
are exactly
right now.
why the NRC is going to get it done.
We're going to see, man. I mean, they got Drake Crowell. For one, a lot of your players are missing out of the equation here. So, I mean, they got a lot of talent on that AFC side of the ball, man. I mean, they got some great players.
Yeah, I think me and Mark might be the only two people who actually think the NRC is going to win. So, we're a little bit outnumbered here.
We'll see when that time comes. And so that's pretty much it, man, in terms of the topics that we had to cover. I kind of figured that the Pro Bowl reveal that the players would take kind of long there, but it honestly didn't take all too long. We've only been in here for about 40-plus minutes, and now we leave it open to the RFL community to ask questions. You can talk about the Pro Bowl. What do you guys want to talk about? Feel free to put it in the chat.
Oh, Roland's on the NRC side. I think this is the first time in over a year that me, Mark, and Roland are agreeing on one thing.
I'm going to just show these pictures of both the Bulls pictures I got. Let me know when you see any questions, Bill.
I'm looking. That's something, too. Nick just said. Isaiah Ingram, I mean, Drake Crowell is going to be glad he's in the ARC after he has to deal with him for a couple quarters. Regier wants to know any running backs in either conference that you feel got snubbed out of the Pro Bowl.
I would probably say, of course, Denard Locker. Damani Manuel probably had some crazy numbers, though. But I feel like Denard Locker should have gotten at least that third-team running back than Damani Manuel. And, of course, I already feel like the special teams in terms of the kick returners, those guys are all messed up, as they've always been in the Pro Bowl selections of Madden. So I think everything else was good, though. I honestly like the selections.
He's not a running back, but I'm going to pound the table for a guy who I thought should have made it this year, right? And I think you already know who I'm going to say. All right. I wanted to see Tom Wilson go to the Pro Bowl, okay? Mm-hmm. That man was amazing this year for the Shamrocks. Granted, they didn't make the playoffs, and he didn't have 5,000 passing yards. But, I mean, when you look at the amount of carrying and playmaking that a guy did, who is really, how many players are really at or above what Tom Wilson did for the Shamrocks this year?
I mean, at the end of the day, I get what you're saying, but let's also not forget what Ben Wakefield was looking like for most of the first half of the season, man. That guy was, and he still passed for over 5K. If he didn't lose Elijah Bentley, I think he would have been even well over that. So I definitely would have liked to probably see, like, it's a good argument you can make. But Ben Wakefield,
yeah, I'm not saying somebody doesn't deserve to be there. I just wish I would have saw Wilson go, because I thought he deserved it this year. And Noah wants to know why Drake Crowell gets another season, no matter what, besides you liking him. Ooh, here we go.
Drake Crowell is going to get another season because at the end of the day, it's plain, it's simple, it's easy. He's the GOAT. Okay? Like, he's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? What else can I say? He is the GOAT of the RFL. And with what we got planned for the future, I would like for him to be a part of that. That's why, I'm trying to hold him on for that for the most part. But this is the only player I would ever do this for anyway, because, the dude really cemented a legacy as a generic player in this league, dude. Like, I honestly, like I said, I didn't even think much at all about Drake Crowell when I first started this season, but the dude just every game was just making some crazy winning games. I mean, he is the reason why I believe that they are the most winningest team still in the RFL. But of course, he just got to get that playoff area right, man. He just got to get that playoff. And it's not only him. I don't think it was really necessarily him. I mean, his defense really didn't in that situation didn't help him out too much, and his receivers. I don't really know what really happened. Like, I think stuff just really got out of hand. Special teams was gave up a block kick. It was a whole lot. They had the advantage at first, but I think they took the gas off. And the Cougars, you can't take the gas off on the Cougars, man. And they just came back strong, destroyed them. So do I put that game solely on Drake Crowell? No. I feel like it was definitely some other factors, but it is still pretty much something weighing. That area is still weighing down his legacy a bit because he just can't seem to get his team to win in the postseason often.
Okay, so then we got Pro Bowl and College Series Bowl. I'm assuming he's talking about the East-West game. Going to have custom fields. I guess you're going to have to tune in to find out.
Yeah, you're going to have to tune in to find out, my guy.
Producer Knight Jr., PC, when?
He said PC when?
PC, when. You got to do it all 3 times.
I don't get it.
He wants to know when. He wants to know if and when we're going to the PC. Come on, Smitty. What's going on?
That's
with
what
you,
I was
man?
asking. That's what I was asking. Like, I was trying to reassure, whatever word that is, that that's what he was asking. But yeah, we're not going to say nothing about that yet. You guys are just going to have to stick around and see. But just know, it's a lot of big stuff that we got planned in the future. No date on when we're going to do all this stuff yet, though. But just know the RFL is going to be taking to new heights very soon.
Connor Baker wants to know our thoughts on Madden 21 so far.
That's what. Oh my God, I'm tripping. That was the last thing that we were supposed to discuss. So let's go ahead and discuss that topic. I actually had the. I don't know how I forgot about that.
Good question, Connor.
Yeah, great question, my guy. So pretty much, this is pretty much what he just asked. What are our thoughts currently on the current news about Madden 21? It's going to be releasing 25th. Well, that's with the 3-day access. In terms of, this is the trailer I'm playing, with no sound. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw the Madden 21 trailer. My initial thoughts on this is, looks like they added a couple of new features in terms of, like, I guess, gameplay, like abilities, some new jukes and stuff. Nothing really too major, nothing really even looking all too different. Just a couple of different things. But I just need to see more when it comes to gameplay, like just in general, like what did they do with franchise this year? What other modes did they enhance? I need to see that. That's pretty much, I'm pretty much stuck right now on what to think of Madden 21. I feel like, the stuff that they've added it seems pretty nice, but we all know a lot more needs to be done to this game. We still don't know what's going to be in this game yet, but from what I know about Madden, what most of us all know about Madden is, probably it might not be too much more than what they've showed us right now, and I'm still a little bit disappointed they didn't say anything about franchise. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now with Madden 21. Bill, what you think about it?
Man, I don't even have half the optimism that you do at this point, man. I hope I'm wrong. To me, I understand that they put things on hold, for the announcement with the things going on in the country right now, which I can respect if that's truly what happened and what they were doing it for. But even regardless of the pushback, you guys, they had how long? This is still, even without the pushing it back until this past Monday, was the longest we went without hearing anything. Usually we have some sort of context to go off of, something to go off of, a visual, maybe a leak about some new feature that they're adding. We didn't get anything. So, I mean, I think a lot of people, a lot of Madden fans, or maybe, I don't even know if we can call them fans anymore. It's more of just a Madden, a crowd that hopes Madden comes back. And
Yeah.
maybe we were expecting to get something a little bit more. Like, man, we're not hearing anything. Hopefully, maybe they got something crazy working on. Maybe they did a whole revamp of stuff. And then we see a trailer that says, well, you can juke a couple more times. And we're sitting here waiting. We're waiting for, new franchise features, revamped this, and that. And like, well, hey, here's some more celebrations for you. And then they end it. Like, we waited how long? And we get a minute and, what was it, a minute 20 video?
Minute
It
30.
didn't even show anything. So, like, to me, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, this game is going to be no different than last year. All right, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I was optimistic last year, and it bit me in the butt. And I'm done being optimistic. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that they have a bunch of other stuff they're going to drop, and they just didn't really tell us anything yet. But one has to assume with barely 2 months to go before the game is released that there probably isn't going to be another 5 or 6 different content coming out from EA Sports saying we changed all this different stuff. I think that I don't know. I think maybe the PS5 launch is going to hinder them a little bit. They might have put too many resources towards that, which I would say they had to, and probably didn't do much different to the game. But at this point, I'm just disappointed. I was expecting a little bit more, hoping for something. In a year where they have to rebuild a game, you would think that maybe the little things like franchise mode would be the thing that gets looked at more instead of rebuilding and adding new features, like a new superstar mode or a new face of the franchise thing. I was sort of hoping that maybe they'd bring along some of the smaller stuff they never felt was important enough for the last decade while working towards the new game on the new console. But at this point, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Rant over.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much our thoughts right now on Madden 21. I kind of do feel the same. And that's why, I think we bring a lot of greatness to at least the people who watch the RFL. This is like the best way to enjoy Madden. Like, I can't even play the game anymore. I haven't played Madden. And honestly, like, I got the game, but that's all, pretty much only for the RFL. I don't play it online competitively. I'll play any other game than play this user-wise. Sometimes if somebody wants to ask to play me sometimes and I feel like I'm in the mood, I'll play it. But honestly, I haven't played Madden competitively since I started up the league. So, and that of course changed the limelight for some of you guys, even as coaches. Like, I know Bill, you said you can't even play this anymore. You pretty much watch it now. I know Rob, I know most of the coaches do that, and that's the only reason why Madden is a must-buy, of course, for us in this community, in terms of just us as the RFL staff. But at the end of the day, what I feel that another topic to talk about what will this bring to the RFL? I honestly think that the games will actually look a lot better, due to the fact that they will be stretching out for first downs and things like that. You're not going to see any cheese when it comes to CPU versus CPU gameplay. You're not going to see you're just going to see the game at its truest form. No fakery. Hopefully that adaptive AI gets rid of that screen on third down just about every time situation and actually makes them call better plays. But let's be honest, when it comes to the RFL, Madden is good almost as it is. With these extra additions, they keep working on the gameplay. It's great. We only are looking for the feature of them being able to create us to put all relocation teams for all the teams. If they put that in the game, put us all in one file, we're good. But, I'm looking at it also from a person who actually plays the game standpoint. And it sucks for you guys, man. Like, that's why I don't play it. I would never really play Madden just to play it. And even when I do actually play it, I'm actually in practice mode with the RFL teams, just having fun running with the players that, pretty much I started up the league with. So, it's never going to be a problem for the RFL pretty much with Madden. But I feel for you guys who, actually try to just play a football game and it's pretty much the same stuff every time, man. Hopefully they, like Bill said, have stuff behind the scenes that we haven't seen yet, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, like you said, it seems like maybe I hope that adaptive AI thing is actually a good thing. We have seen before in the past when they change the way some mechanics go, that we go through maybe a season or maybe a half of a year of some really wonky stuff while they get it worked out. But hopefully that's not the situation, and it does improve the gameplay. Because how many times when your guys are calling games this year or last year, you see a guy get all the way down to the 1 yard line or meet somebody at the 2 or 1 yard line, and any football player that's ever breathed on this earth would have just reached the ball over the goal line, and they just get stuffed and they get counted at the 1. So hopefully that will help the gameplay. I hope it does and makes it feel a little bit more realistic, like these guys are trying to fight. But yeah, it's just really, it's frustrating for guys like me. I mean, I've been playing Madden since the first cover athlete in 2001 with Eddie George. And I was playing it before that when John Madden was the guy on the cover. I have watched Madden from a very early stages, and to see where it's gotten to this point is just very, very upsetting. And I can understand everybody's frustration. I just hope they prove me wrong. I hope they prove a lot of us wrong, because, I mean, let's be honest, man. If it's not for them having this exclusivity license, I don't think they're in business. Period. Like if they put this stuff out every year like they have been, they're not a business anymore. So I just really hope that it pans out this time for us. Yeah. This is the last year I'm having any sort of optimism, though, and I have a very, very, very slight amount of optimism.
What I feel, though, and I know most guys are going to feel like opposite, is that when you talk about Madden, of course, it's been a long time. It's been pretty much the same stuff. I feel like with this move to PS5, with the little stuff that they're adding, with us knowing that whatever they put in the game, they're pretty much going to always have, instead of trying to recycle features, because we already know the situation on why they couldn't keep some of their old stuff. I feel like the game is slightly just going to continue to get better, and it could be moved at a faster pace, if they actually took it more serious. I'm not saying the workers aren't. In my opinion, man, I feel like it's somebody that's not doing what they're supposed to in terms of making the game, or just not putting in. They're not putting in enough time in, because I mean, honestly, for guys who know how to mod, and you've seen how easy it is to update rosters through an amp and stuff like that, I can imagine how easy it is to probably do that stuff if you have the main editor. And that just leads me to believe, where is the time going? Like, what are they making? We already know they're focusing on face of the franchise and stuff like that. Okay. But I don't see how, you have a whole year to make a game, and, this is all we get. I hope this is not all we get, man. Is if we're getting celebrations as the key topic here for Madden, if we're getting just a couple more extra moves, maybe a little bit more fluidity, that's cool. But where are the features? I'm talking about the little things. They really don't pay attention to the little things, and those little things are what greatly impacts this game. Where is the creativity? That's what kills this game. There's no creativity. Everybody wants to create a team. Look at what you can do with create a team. Technically, that's pretty much what the RFL stemmed from. So I think the reason why people don't play this game for its longevity is due to the fact that there's no creativity to the game. Nobody wants to keep playing with the NFL players. I'm going to be honest. Okay, we may be an NFL fan. You may love NFL and things like that, but you're only going to play but so much with the same players. And even trying to get a case, even for another case going on. Okay, maybe you want to switch things up and create a team pretty much through mud. You got to look at the money you got to put into that. So man, they're just missing the creativity factor of the game. That's what it is. They need to put a lot more customization in this game, because what they got right now is what's killing it. Customization is what's missing. Franchise, create a team, create a field. The game needs to be a lot more customizable, man. That's hands down.
Yeah, and if there's any hope for us to get some form of redemption with Madden 21, I really hope that whoever's in charge of these decisions goes and takes a look at their trailer video on YouTube here. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping track, but I have the video right here. and just going to relay the stats. Just to show how bad this game has fallen off. I don't think I've ever seen this from a video game, ever. Even the bad ones. They have a total of 939,000 views. They have 13,000 likes, and they have 18,000 dislikes.
Jeez.
They have 5,000 more dislikes on their video. To me, that is just...
That should say a lot.
And, I get it. There's the guys upstairs. They want to see the fancy things. They want to, instead of, they want to find ways to get new people in the door. I get it. That's how business works. You're trying to find new people. You want to bring more customers in. I get that that's business. But video games is not just about finding the new person. You can't sever the ties with everybody who's followed you for 2 decades and expect to succeed. And anybody who goes and looks at anything that they post at this point, when was the last time you saw EA Sports or Madden themselves on social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, post something and not just see every other comment saying, hey, why can't you fix franchise yet? Why is this game horrible? Why don't you guys listen to us? What's going on? How does nobody see this, And I know that they can do it. I'm not going to sit here and say that the people that are working on the game have no clue what they're doing. I think we all can understand that it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with who's giving the money out to the certain areas and who's telling who to do what for the job. These devs are probably light years better than half the guys that sit out here and fix the game for free in their free time, but yet they're getting put on new MUT uniforms and the next token set that they can give to somebody so that they can spend another $150 on top of the $60 they already spent on the game in the first month. But anywhere you go to look, man, everybody wants the same thing. They just want franchise pack. They want created team. Just like you said, just give us a created team. Every other sports thing has it. Everybody else got it. We don't. So
for America's top sport to not be up to date with the rest of the, that's terrible. That's really terrible. And I've always tried to support Madden as much. I still, in a way, look. I don't know if you guys will get this. Pretty much what I'm about to say, the way I'm trying to mean it, but I feel like Madden isn't a bad game. It's a game that has been the same pretty much for years. It's not a bad game. It's just the fact that where's the change? That's what makes it look bad, because it's just like we aren't seeing anything different. It's like pretty much playing like we've been saying, playing the game for the past 7 years straight and nothing new came out. And that's what makes the game bad, is because it's no change, if any, very little. And so I think, those little features and stuff, man, like that's not going. You can see where it's going. I remember hearing Rob talking about where he used to. He was talking about the dislike ratio and everything about Madden and stuff. He said he used to remember back when people used to be like, drop the game. Now they're like, keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like when are they gonna finally listen to us, man? Like I don't really know too much what to say. So I mean, it's like I said, I don't think the game is all the way just bad. It's just the same.
Yeah, and I all throughout my childhood growing up, I was never like an avid gamer. Like you have your guys who are strictly gamers. They're going to play any game that comes out. They need to have the Call of Duty. They need to have the World of War or Warcraft. Like I said, I'm not a huge gamer, but like there's all these different games, Halo and all the different franchises, and they'll have every single one of them. They play 30 different games a week. I was never that guy. I liked like 3-4 games tops. Madden was always one. And I always, on the release date, I would sit and wait. I would scour the internet for things because I was so excited for it to come out. I mean, then some of those guys who are older like me, you guys remember when you could buy those awesome game guides that showed you all the stuff and all the big book for like an extra $20? I loved getting that stuff. At this point, I don't even care anymore. Like that's the worst part. Like I don't even care that they're coming out with a new game. It's the only reason I even care is because of the RFL. as soon as we get the new game, we start working towards the next season in the RFL, and that's really the only point of me even getting the game when it comes out anymore, and that's just sad.
And honestly, I feel like if they didn't have even the relocation teams in this game, bro, I don't think I would have played Madden for the past, or even bought it for the past like 5-6 years, you know. So they better bring back some creativity, man. We spent a lot of time on that topic. Anybody got any other topics to talk about? But that's pretty much our feelings on that.
Yeah, and I just saw Noah Underhill said, surprised they had internet when I was a kid. Yeah, I had when I was a kid, you had to decide if you were going to talk on the phone or use the computer, and to be on the internet. They didn't both work at the same time, and if you had to connect to the internet, you actually had to call the internet. You had to dial it, and you had to hope to God that thing would connect, because a lot of the times it wouldn't connect. You'd be sitting there for another 10 minutes trying to reconnect it 3 times, and then you'd finally get it on. You'd go on the website, and you would download one song, and it would take 3 hours, and it was the greatest thing in the world.
Old Head Chronicles, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man.
Old Head Chronicles. I didn't have to deal with that, Bill.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know. There's some guys who understand that, who know how that went. I know there's guys out there who, and probably in our chat, that even know way before that. Because like, I was a '90s kid. I was born in '90, so I came along with the technology. Like, before me, there really wasn't much technology. I'm looking here. It's just a bunch of EA stuff.
Let's see, Mitch said, thoughts on Rattay and Mack out for not making the Pro Bowl. That's kind of interesting, too. Rattay not making it, and then Mack. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Definitely some guys I think that could have been in there.
And then Torres, is Season 6 going to be on Madden 20 or Madden 21? We didn't talk about it already, but anytime there's a new game out, we are going to be on the new game.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We're never staying on the same game even if the game is not better. It's just the fact that nobody's going to be looking up older versions more than the new versions. So it doesn't make sense to stay back on a game. It may be different, but we got to learn to adapt. So, but I think that's what's better for the growth of this league. You know, you can't stay on an old game, because you're going to get less likely to get people to search for your content. So.
And the only reason we even stuck on 19 for half of the college series last year was just because we were waiting on the mod to be shifted to 20. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So even this college series right now, what we're going to be doing is the college series right now will be on Madden 20 until Madden 21 drops. So when Madden 21 drops, then that's when we'll once Madden 21 drops, then we'll have the mod and everything, and pretty much pick up where we left off from 20 on to 21. So that's how we'll rock with that. That's the only game we're going to be behind, but technically we're not behind, because the college mod isn't on 21 yet. Isn't going to be on 21 yet as soon as it drops. So, but yeah, we keep up to date with whatever's out, whatever's current.
And then, how does free agency work?
Oh, free agency pretty much is like the same as Madden. You just go in there, you place your bet down during free agency, you pick a guy up. We have free agency points during the season, so a coach gets 50 points. If he uses those points before the season's up and he wastes them, he can't pick up any free agent players. So they got to use those free agent points wisely. And then also during this offseason that's coming up, we're not going to have points involved into that. It's going to be just you pretty much is outbidding. But of course you got to be smart with your cap, because we carry that over. So free agency, another I guess something extra to add to how free agency works is if you are a submitted player, this is why you got to pay attention, because we're not going to go out there and contact you. If you're a submitted player, your contract's up, you're trying to get off your team, you're trying to go to another team and explore the free agency to get offers, you got to look for those offers and be in the Discord and contact our coaches. If our coaches come to me and tells me that, hey, I'm interested in getting such and such, I'll come to you about, hey, you have these offers. Do you want to accept it? And if you accept it, then you get to pretty much have a choice on where you go.
Yeah, and then just for like the overall consensus on the off-season stage of free agency, we really just do the same exact thing that anybody does in a franchise, except we have advancing times, where we advance 24 hours on the dot every day, and then whoever ends up with that person, that's who ends up with the person. There's no decisions on which free agent goes to where. If there's a tie in the points, it's whoever says contract accepted when they get advanced, that's who gets a player, and that's pretty much how we do the free agency.
Yeah. So I guess what I'll do is I'll probably take one or two more questions, and then we'll hop out of here.
What rookie this year will have the biggest leap in season 6 as a second-year player?
It's quite a few guys, man. I think
Yeah.
Sean Acosta might be one.
Yep.
Donovan Rhodes, I think next year he's going to be even better. Depends on what his line does, though. There's another one. It's quite a bit. Oh, Hudson Johnston. He's going to be a beast.
Jason Henderson.
Jason Henderson, yep, another good one right there.
Had to shout out my own team.
Yeah. You know who else on the defensive side of the ball, man?
Who?
For the Cougars, Philly Jones.
Yeah. Philly Jones.
He's nice. He's actually really
Yeah,
good,
he
man.
is. Yes, he is.
Oh, how can we not say Savoy?
Well, I mean, he's pretty much already, risen.
Yeah. I think he might be better next year.
Yeah. I mean, you imagine Savoy and the Red Dragons offense if two things happen. Bobo stops getting hurt, and Savoy magically turns into an amazing passer on top of being a great runner. That'd be scary.
Yeah.
And then we had underneath that question, what college player are you most excited to see in the bowl this week? One sleeper player on offense and defense. So basically not the big names, but somebody else that maybe fly under the radar you're excited to see on both sides of the ball.
Well, of course, on offense, was it for both teams or?
They didn't specify. Mitchie didn't specify. He just said on offense and defense. So.
Okay, so for one, I'm going to do just both sides anyway in terms of this position, in terms of offense. I think I want to look at both the running backs on the opposite teams because I think they are some pretty good running backs, but just interested to see how they do against each other in there with Tommy Bigby and Brennan Warner. Let me see. On the defensive side of the ball, what do you think? I can't really pinpoint anybody, man. It's a lot of these guys are known,
I think one guy that everybody knows is the best, but just wants to see it happen one more time is Little Bill.
He's not even in the series though.
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah, he didn't get picked.
I was there for the draft, and I just remembered that.
Yeah.
That's hurtful.
Parker Thomas, Geno Gannon, Kevin Crockett, Marquise Washington. That's it.
How dare you guys? I can't even.
All right, so what we'll do, we'll take one more question. Daggone PlayStation really hyperventilating over here, man.
How many rookie QBs have brought their team to the Rfl Bowl? Nathan, I'll get that type for you. No problem there, bud. Wasn't it 3?
Yeah, so Rfl Bowl 1 was won by Timmy Merritt. He was a rookie. Rfl Bowl 2, no rookie won that game, but a rookie did go. It was the Diablos quarterback at the time, Chum Lee. Rfl Bowl 3, you had, of course, the story of Kyle Bain coming in and helping the Thunderbirds win their first with an injured LC3, similar to this year. And he also played against a rookie himself, which was Trey Allen at the time. He went undrafted. The Sentinels picked him up out of free agency, and he ended up being the starter, taking the job away from Reed Wagner at the time. So a lot of rookies have actually been there. And then Rfl Bowl 4 was the first Rfl Bowl that didn't involve a rookie quarterback. So, that says a lot. The Rfl Bowl is where a lot of rookies make their name, and we've got one this year, and Anthony Savoy with the Red Dragons. So, if he wins one, I guess the Rfl Bowl is the place for the rookie QBs, man.
Don't see much else.
All right, then, guys. Appreciate you guys coming through. Glad you guys have enjoyed, the presentation we gave you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the upcoming bowl games, man. They're going to be very exciting, of course, for you guys. I know you guys are going to enjoy it. And we're going to bring more content, just posting pictures of players in practice and things like that. Once again, if you are a submitted player and you were a part of this class and you want a picture of yourself to post up, contact me. Contact us on social media. I have some already made, already taken for some players. So I can, get with you fairly quickly and give you those so you can post up on your social media page. But that's it. This is your boy Smitty, Rfl Commissioner and play-by-play commentator, along with Bill, the Bruiser. And we'll see you guys at the College Series Bowl and the Pro Bowl. Peace.